Hello everyone, Chocolo Roberto here for another video review, and today we have the Nestlé Aero, the aerated chocolate bar. Now lovely packaging actually, I have to say before I go on. I do really like the look of this. Love the colour scheme, that sort of, the white and the sort of chocolates and the little blends between them. I think it's like a lovely coffee creamy, lovely colour actually. Yeah, and it has a nice feel to it actually as well. You might not be able to tell from the look of it, but it's kind of like a matte finish to the wrapper. So yeah, I do actually really like the look of this. It's a very nice chocolate bar. And you might be able to tell actually, around the wording of the Aero, there's a bit of a silver swoosh. Yeah, so yeah, no, very, very, very nice. One of the best I've seen actually for the wrappers. I really like that. Yeah, so for those that don't know, Aero is essentially an aerated chocolate bar. So it's basically a sort of aerated chocolate, which means it's pumped full of air, presumably, and then covered in a layer of milk chocolate to make it smooth on the top, as you can see from that there. Yeah, so it goes, obviously, and that's the whole concept. So it was by the bubbles in there and all the bubbles here and stuff. Yeah, so very nice. Now, obviously, its main rivals are the the Cadbury's Whisper, and for the mainland European viewers, the Milka Lovely bars. I would say, before I've had this in the past, and I'm quite sure this is more akin to the Lovelies than the Whisper. I think the Whisper's on a different level, to be honest with you. It's velvety smooth and soft, and I don't think this is going to be velvety smooth. You can see by the size of the bubbles already that it's just not going to be like that. And this is more similar to the Lovely as well. The Lovely Caramel, though, having said that, bizarrely was more like the Whisper. The bubbles weren't as big as this, but I don't know if that was a one-off or not. And yeah, the caramel wasn't quite as good as the caramel in a Whisper Gold, which is the Whisper equivalent with the caramel. So anyway, I digress. But yeah, a lady on Twitter, Carnivorous Cupcake, or Miss Cupcake as I call her, yeah, she mentioned to me a Dutch bar called a Bros. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but in the UK it will be pronounced Bros, as in BROS. But I believe this is the same bar actually. I think its wrapper's slightly different in Holland. It's got a blue rather than brown. It's kind of blue and a lot different, but obviously it's 4 letters, it looks the same. But yeah, I will try and track that bar down and do a comparison. I think they are the same, but it'd be nice to know. Anyway, digressing again. So yes, so per bar 199 calories, so just under the 200 calorie mark. 6.6 grams of, 11.4 grams of fat, 6.6 of which are saturates. Yeah, so it's about par for the course, really. Yeah, so that little writing there on the trim around the O. It says feel the bubbles. I want to taste them, not feel them. But yes, okay. Yeah. Know your serving, 1 bar equals 1 serving. I think that's... Okay, right, so I don't think, if you're going to tell me what serving was, I don't think the fact that the whole bar is the serving was where I needed it. Often, these things are like, often a serving is 2 segments or something, or a quarter or something like that, and this one, it just says the whole 1 serving is the bar. It's just totally needless. But I don't know, maybe it helps someone, I don't know. If it helps you, then it's helped someone, then that's what matters. Okay, let's give it an open. Right. Okay, so okay, so we have it's quite right. So the gist of it is, when I've been touching dairy milk bars today, do some other reviews, they've started to melt immediately in my fingers, but this one hasn't. So the chocolate is definitely, well, we already knew, you probably knew anyway, but the Nestlé chocolate's definitely different and probably a bit more robust than the Cadbury's chocolate. We can see its lovely little sort of bubbly shapes. It used to be a bit like the dairy milk actually. Cadbury's dairy milk. It used to be sort of segments, as in, rather than having the 10 segments, it'd be 5, and this one would be 1 segment. and that'd be 2, 3, 4, and 5. I must say I massively prefer that than these sort of ball affairs. I really do. I mean, I guess these would last long, but you're always going to snap it there anyway. I find it, other than me doing this review, I don't think anyone would ever snap this once and snap it again into correct one bit. But maybe, I don't know, maybe more delicate people than me would. But and of course you can snap it down the middle. I think it might be more trouble than it's worth, but you could snap it down the middle. I don't know, the options there, but for me, I think I'm sure that, I'm sure you're getting less of a bar as well by having this sort of middle ravine. But anyway, that's just me. Yes, but other than that, it's quite an attractive bar. As I say, I massively prefer, just one segment rather than this kind of knobbled affair. But it does go inside with the bar quite well, all the bubbles and things. So it's very thematic, really. And you can see it says Aero on the bubbles as well. So quite nice. Okay, so let's give it a snap. Well, too, I'll try snapping it down the middle. Why not? See how practical that is. Okay, not very practical because I almost starting to crush the bits I was holding to do that, so it's not quite, doesn't quite work. But we can see the bubbles, so that's quite nice. That's a nice view actually. That's a good way to look at it. I quite like the look of that. The bubbles I see are big bubbles. They're definitely not Cadbury's Whisper, very small, very, very small bubbles, velvety smooth bubble. But the Cadbury's Whisper basically has such small bubbles that the chocolate is almost just like velvet. As I say, it doesn't look aerated at all in places, so it's just so smooth and lovely. This is not the case here. Just chocolate with lots of holes in it, really. I don't think you don't quite get the velvetiness, but let's have a try. I'll try 2 segments at once. I think I need to get the benefit, so let's give it a go. It is very mousse-like actually. Now I would say the Nestlé chocolate is a lot more bitter than Cadbury's, and for me that's a bad thing. Not the bitterness particularly, but the taste just isn't quite as nice. So please bear that in mind for the future. I mean, I think I prefer the Cadbury's chocolate. So if you like Nestlé chocolate, you can ignore that aspect of the review. But it's very smooth. As soon as you eat it, it really does melt into almost like a cream. Really, it's very creamy texture when you bite it. So obviously, the outside's quite nice and solid, but as soon as you get into there, as soon as your tongue touches the middle, it just melts. And you are sort of, it's almost like eating a cloud of chocolate. It really does melt. It's very, very, very creamy. It's just a shame for me. It's just not the chocolate taste that I like. I think if this was Cadbury's chocolate, I'd be on cloud 9. No cloud pun intended. But it is nice. It's just not really my chocolate. But but it really does work out even better than the Lovely bar, I'd say. I don't remember the Lovely bar melting and being such almost like a dream to eat, if you know what I mean. I don't mean that as in a dream as in it's the best thing ever or anything. I mean as in it's just like so smooth and sort of like a sheet of I don't know, it's like a sort of soothing sensation over your tongue as it melts. It's it just sort of falls over you, as if you're falling asleep and having a pleasant dream or something. It's a very terrible metaphor. I must probably not do those ever again. But I can't quite describe it. It's just it really does sort of, as I say, it just melts into a lovely layer of sort of creamy chocolateness, and it's a bit like eating a mousse or something. It's a No, it's very very effective. I think if you like Nestlé chocolate, the only problem for me is I just not that the chocolate for me isn't that great. It's not that nice. But everything else about it I think is nice, and it's different enough from the Whisper. I think it's a different bar really. I think the Whisper does something else than this. This is more of a liquid taste when you have this bar. It just melts into a liquid and coats your tongue, and very nice sensations. The Whisper doesn't really do that. I don't think it's fair to compare them actually. It is favourable over the Lovely Bar though, I think. Yeah, it's just a shame for me the chocolate isn't quite the chocolate taste I like, but you know, it is a sensation I've not had in any other bar at the moment. So I've tried quite a few so far, lots of these aerated bars. So very nice. So I think give this a try, and if the chocolate taste is to your taste, you'll love this bar. I think for me it's just a bit too bitter. You know, not quite as creamy as I'd like really. And I mean creamy as in the taste, not as in the sensation of the way it sort of liquefies on your tongue, and it's lovely. I just mean it's not, the chocolate taste itself isn't creamy enough for me. But yeah, so I think I'm going to have to give it, I think, a 4 out of 5 for that, because I think it is so unique and lovely taste. It's just not quite the chocolate taste for me. But I don't think it'd be fair for me to mark it down on my particular preference, because I think it does a really great job and not quite like any other bar. So yeah, I think if I did like it, maybe it would be a 5. But I'm not sure, because I think I'd rather have a cream in a bar to get that cream sensation. I don't know. Hard to say really, because we are where we are, so I can't really speculate on what it would be like otherwise. But yeah, I think a 4 out of 5 for me. You know, because it's not fair to say it's an average bar, because it does have something very unique there, and it's very tasty. But I'd say just my own personal preference. It's just the chocolate itself isn't up my street, but you know, it most likely, well, hopefully, will be up yours. So give it a go. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. As always, subscribe and let me know what you think, and like my videos or dislike them. And get in touch, you know, about anything at all. It'd be lovely to hear from you. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Okay, guys, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. See ya. Bye.